How you doing, everybody? It's Wardy here, and we're back at it with our latest Big Mets update segment, or as we can all label it by now, Big Juan Soto update segment, because that's all we're talking about each and every day, with new news, new rumors, everything in between, until he makes his inevitable decision this offseason. Just as we broke down yesterday how the Boston Red Sox apparently already have Juan Soto on a 12-year deal, said absolutely nobody with reliability, we broke down that inaccurate reporting and how we differentiate the two, what is reliable, what is not. So check out that video yesterday if you guys haven't already, because as we fast forward a day later now, we're going to get into someone who has more reliability than the man that we heard the past couple of days coming out of Boston area, and that comes from Randy Miller, who was on the beat for the New York Yankees through NJ.com. The same Randy Miller that was one of, if not the actual first to break out this offseason. The teams have officially sent in contract offers for Juan Soto, that being the Yankees, the Mets, and the list goes on from there, including the Red Sox as well. A couple hours later, John Morosi reported as his own to act as if, okay, that was going to be the breaking news, but no, Randy Miller had it multiple hours prior, as we covered on the platform over the past week or so. And the same Randy Miller just spoke to WFAN via radio today and had some choice words on the team that he covers, feeling all but confident in the Yankees bringing back Juan Soto. So let's break down these latest remarks, not only opinion-based, but also based on what he has heard throughout the industry, how much we should take this as Mets fans on where the Mets stand, the Red Sox stand, and most certainly the Yankees stand on the Juan Soto sweepstakes. So let me see your initial reactions, the comments down below, everybody. Shout out to our amazing sponsor at BetUS that has you covered with all your sports betting needs. Make sure you guys sign up to BetUS today by heading over there and using our promo code at YouTube150. That way you too get a 150% bonus on your first deposit, $125 on your second and your third, up to $2,000 for whatever your sports betting needs are desired there at betus.com.pa today. Now, as we deep dive this, folks, let's see the remarks. And shout out to Danny Abriano, who does a fantastic job there through SNY as one of their main writers. And he said Randy Miller of NJ.com was on WFAN about an hour ago to discuss the Juan Soto sweepstakes. This is what he had to say, folks. I'm hearing, and I quote, the Yankees will top out probably in the $550 million range. I also believe that at least two and maybe three other offers already have surpassed $600 million. I haven't confirmed that, but that's what I believe, and that has been a widespread belief, which goes in hand with why the Yankees had to top their first offer from the round one of negotiation to round two, where we heard nothing from the public eye and the Mets. We did hear the Red Sox had to up their offer as well, which you have to wonder how much higher were the Mets essentially there potentially in round one of negotiation when putting their bids in. And from there, Randy further says, I'm hearing the Yankees fear the Red Sox more than anyone now. I'm really curious to see how accurate or inaccurate that is, because this feels so perfect for Scott Boras to drive up the price and get this bidding war going, especially knowing that, oh, you were fearing the Mets before, now you have to fear the Red Sox as well. Either one is going to absolutely gut you as the owner and ownership down for the Yankees and their fan base. So yeah, they're going to try to do everything they can to bring him back. But when you have that hard line to stand at potentially $550 million, please enlighten me how there's any world where Juan Soto is going to be taking a discount to stay in the Bronx to that magnitude of 50 to potentially 100 million less. Yeah, I don't think so, but I'm going to go on a limb and say that right now. And I quote from Randy Miller, I think the Mets are definitely in play and the Red Sox are in play, but I don't think he's going to the Yankees. Miller noted that he thinks the Yankees will end up finishing fourth in the Soto bidding. So that means the Yankees would finish fourth behind the Mets, the Red Sox, and one of the Dodgers or the Blue Jays, not discussing a team that maybe hasn't thrown themselves in yet, but could come out of nowhere potentially. Those are the respective 4 or 5 teams that we know publicly that's going either way for Juan Soto's services. So to hear the Yankees, no, they're not going to be second, third, but he believes they're going to be fourth as someone that covers him every single day, that is very telling to me. And I understand that Randy Miller is also the same person who firmly believed that Aaron Judge was going to the San Francisco Giants. And the reason why I'm not going to give him too much flack for that is because everyone else in the industry was hearing the exact same thing after it first started from John Heyman, because they hear a lot of information that comes from the same exact source that probably Heyman heard as well, and ultimately that was wrong in the end. So yes, even people that are more reliable aren't necessarily the most accurate every single time out there. I just want to emphasize that because I know people are going to go in the comments right away and say, but Wardy, he hasn't been accurate about everything. Correct. Jeff Passan hasn't even been accurate about everything. Ken Rosenthal hasn't been accurate about everything. John Heyman, obviously, Arson Judge is not known for being accurate about everything, but they're doing their best while also trying to jump and get as many clicks as possible. But it's about finding that balance. But in regards to Randy Miller here, my key takeaways as a Mets fan is this is encouraging to hear. Should this hold true, this means that the Yankees are on the outside looking in, which doesn't overly shock me. Should it come down to that much of a financial differentiation between the Mets, the Red Sox, and here the Yankees. And listen, the Yankees have to be fearful of the Red Sox. If I'm the Yankees, I would be more fearful of the Red Sox than the Mets if that is actually holding true. And this is not just a mouthpiece for Scott Boras to try to get the Yankees to really be pissed off right now and up the ante even more in their offer. But it's one thing to lose him crosstown to your crosstown rivals in the Mets, but you don't play them all that much. It's another to lose him in the AL East still to your arch rivals and the Red Sox doing a reverse Babe Ruth here. That's a completely different element. So we're going to find out soon enough what happens in these sweepstakes, God willing, by the time we reach the winter meetings this offseason. But until then, there's a lot of uncertainty on the Juan Soto front. But what we know, what has been certain, is that the Mets have pretty much rolled out the red carpet to this point. And I actually love the fact that there hasn't been much in the public eye and the rumblings at all with Juan Soto and the Mets the past couple of days. Like heading into Thanksgiving, there's been nothing negative. It's only been positive that we've heard, including guys like Randy here who think it's going to be the Mets and the Red Sox at the top. With all the Red Sox rumblings going on, I honestly love it, because should this hold out to not be true, and should Juan Soto not be a Red Sox by, say, this Wednesday or so, like so many people have claimed to be the case, if not earlier, but of course they're going to continue to push a flag post as far as they can back to make sure that it's going to go in their favor. This is going to be a fascinating one to follow here, but should Juan Soto not make a decision by then it's going to further reaffirm that, yes, the lack of reporting is probably a good thing for us Mets fans. In the case of the Red Sox, it's hard to not believe that to an extent, not to say that they can't land him, because they absolutely can. Henry is an absolutely fantastic owner when he wants to be and is willing to spend. Doesn't touch at all Steve Cohen and his willingness, but we know that this is more than money. It's about selling the organization. It's about selling the future. The Red Sox, what do they have in their favor? They have a better farm than the Yankees. They have a historic franchise that, even though the Yankees have 27 rings, you could rightfully argue that Boston is the most impressive city, the true city of champions on the East Coast, over New York in so many ways. And no Yankee fan can deny that based on any recent history between the Celtics, between the Bruins, even though that they haven't won in a while, but they've always been good. They won a number of years ago that we know. The Red Sox won back in 2018, obviously, and they have an ability to win. If you're going to include their New England, the entire run with Belichick and Brady. So yes, we know how much we despise Boston sports because they've had endless success throughout the past 25, 30 years. And that's a big selling point to someone who wants Soto, I'm sure. Seeing guys thrive in Big Papi among other Dominican greats, they're spending their time in Boston with the Red Sox. So that is a culture change, but one that Soto may certainly be in favor of in the end. But should he be in favor in the end, we're going to find out more accurate reporting on that front. When it comes to the Mets' willingness, them rolling out the red carpet, an owner that's willing to spend that wants Juan Soto dearly, everything has been positive on that front than what we know in the public eye. And what I really feel with the Red Sox situation is that this is giving me a level of vibes similar to the Blue Jays last offseason with Shohei Ohtani, when in reality they were essentially played like a fiddle. He never went there. Everyone, including John Morosi, who started the news, was inaccurate on the reporting, and then we find out he signs with the LA Dodgers. So not to say that he is a slam dunk to land with the Mets based on the lack of reporting lately, but I don't think it's a bad thing. Usually when a team is working in silence, it never hurts, especially in the case of the Mets here. And what we've known publicly has been nothing but positive to this point. And when it comes to Yankees, there's been a lot of controversy on that end, and there's been a lot of ups and downs as to how far are the Yankees willing to go. Well, Randy Miller reaffirmed what a lot of people in the industry tend to believe, and that is that the Yankees want him back hard, but they want him back at their price point, and Juan Soto wants a sign at his price point. Should that be the differentiator? Do not expect Juan Soto to go back to the Bronx, but do expect him to land with a new club, God willing, our New York Mets, potentially the Boston Red Sox, among other teams, and the Dodgers, Blue Jays on lesser levels that we know publicly to this point. But everybody, let us know your initial reactions and thoughts in the comments down below. What is your confidence level, A, in the Mets landing Juan Soto this offseason, and B, how much do you believe the Red Sox are actually in this to win big time for Soto and his services? Do you think that they've really been building up the past couple years to lay out a big contract, similar to the Dodgers letting Trey Turner go a couple offseasons ago to make lateral moves, just like how the Mets made lateral moves this past offseason after not landing Yamamoto to help them set themselves up for these Soto sweepstakes? Or do you think while the interest is there, Scott Boras is really trying to play them like a fiddle here to drive up the price, knowing he's inevitably going back to the Bronx or the Mets still at the end of the day? Because That's something else that I'd like to make clear, everybody. Just because Randy Miller said these things doesn't mean they're entirely accurate. Take it with as a grain of salt, or take it beyond face value, however you want to go about it. But when it comes to Juan Soto, of anything of substance, of significance, we're covering to a T all season long, just like we have been to this point. So fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What's your thoughts on the latest with Juan Soto? And until we find out more news on either Juan Soto or other players the Mets are potentially targeting or are reportedly targeting, we will cover to a T here on the platform. Thank you guys again for watching, and have a fantastic rest of your day, night, evening, whatever you're watching this. And this is your guy Wardy signing out. Peace out, folks. Have a great one.